Welcome everyone to the Circle Debate Podcast, MMA episode number 5. It's the host of Devious One and the moderator here, alongside with my brothers from another mother's the West Side family, the West Coast over here, ladies and gentlemen. The West Side! And I'm right here with El Director, the director, the one and only. I want to make sure that you're on camera, you're there, you know.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. One and only Chris Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, we have the Modest brothers. The Modest of Pain. The Modest of Pain, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, our brothers from other mothers from the Championship on the Line podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Alex and Richard Modest. But hold on, I got to introduce someone very. Yeah, this is the reigning, defending, Tapology World Heavyweight Champion, Alex Modest.
That's right. You're giving him a bigger head, Ivan.
let him have it, bro, because he's gonna lose.
I'm thinking about putting that on my Instagram and my profile.
I think it's going on my resume at the bottom.
and of course, ladies and gentlemen, I have the man that will whoop Alex's ass on Topology coming up this weekend. He's the coach himself.
What's going on, guys?
That is right. Ladies and gentlemen, so this week on episode 5 of the MMA, we're going to just give our predictions for the upcoming event this weekend for UFC 260 and Ngannou and Miocic. But before we touch the card, I want to go actually bring up one thing that came into breaking news, and I want to get everyone's thoughts about it. So we did hear about the announcement for UFC 262. Now we got Olivera versus Michael Chandler for the lightweight championship belt. So what does this mean for Gaethje and Poirier? So I'm going to go with you, Coach. What was that a right decision to give Chandler that?
Well, Poirier's chasing the money at this point. I think he knows he's kind of the undisputed champion or the uncrowned champion, as they say. Yeah, pretty much. He knows he's the champ. I think at this point he's so much later in his career that he wants the title, but he wants to make sure he has that money in his pocket for when he does end that career, he's set for life, or for at least his kids are set up, his family's safe. So I get it. In his point of view, I get it. Go get that third Conor fight. Go beat Conor, make some more money, raise your name up, a stock more, get more cut of the pay-per-views when you do fight for the title. It'd be fantastic. I understand where Poirier's coming from. Gaethje, I just feel like they left him out on this one. I don't know. What does he really have to do? I mean, Ferguson's out because Ferguson's fighting Dariush, so there's no fight there. Mm-hmm. I mean, the only one that would make sense at this point would probably be Hooker. But Hooker just literally got out of the hotel like not too long ago. So I don't know how quickly he wants to make a return. Plus, he got blasted in his last fight. So I think he wants to take a break, especially when he was considering retirement for a bit. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That really leaves Gaethje out on the cold, honestly, in my perspective. As far as for Chandler and Olivera, that's perfect. Makes sense. Olivera's coming from a win of beating Ferguson. Chandler just looked fantastic. Probably one of the best UFC debuts you could ever have by putting out Hooker. A great knockout. And Gaethje, unfortunately, he lost his last fight and he looked bad. He had zero ground game in that fight. That just exposed him so much. I think that the UFC is just like, let's not take that risk. Basically, we put him against Olivera. Look, Olivera will eat him up on the ground. Like, it's not going to make sense because the only one you could really give it to if it's not Poirier, it's Olivera. And if you put Olivera in there, he's going to take Gaethje down one way or another, take his back, choke him out, do something, arm bar him, triangle him, put him to sleep. It's not going to be exciting. It's not going to be, well, if you put Chandler in there, who's got some solid wrestling, good takedown defense, we'll see where his jiu-jitsu is at for that fight because Olivera's a whole different, level.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's going to be an exciting fight, I think. It's going to be great. Can Olivera, keep it enough distance where he doesn't get knocked out by Chandler's power? Can Chandler stop the takedowns? Defend the jiu-jitsu enough to survive and win the fight? We'll see. Should be a fun fight, especially as Olivera's striking has gotten so much better too. He's at a different level too now in his striking. Before he was a complete jiu-jitsu fighter, but now he's a well-rounded MMA fighter. So be a fun fight to watch.
Definitely. Do you agree with that, Richard? Do you agree?
I like Olivera. He deserves it. So does Chandler, but I gotta go with Chandler. I'm a little biased because of his wrestling background and I started wrestling, so of course I'm going to pick him. But it's not just that, just his power in that right hand. He's coming along. He's evolving so much as a mixed martial artist. He has the ground game. He has the wrestling. the stand up. So yeah, I think he has the whole package to defeat Olivera. It just one thing that worries me, like he was saying, is his jiu-jitsu. Olivera is very dangerous in the ground, but as a wrestler, I could see him just go side control, mount, ground and pound, doing it the smart way to get the victory. But yeah, I gotta pick with Chandler for sure.
All right, director.
Everything Coach said is absolutely what I was going to say. Jorge's, I don't know if he has thoughts about that fight being booked, but if he did, I mean, he's allowed to have them. But the Conor fight, that's the money fight. And then I think the winner of that should maybe get the winner of Chandler Olivera. That'd be cool. That makes sense to me. But yeah, Gaethje is absolutely iced out because if you look at the top, I have the rankings up right now. The top 10 to 11 are all fucking booked up, bro. Yeah, dude, look at this. The only person who I can't name off the top of my head doesn't have a fight, and I actually think he does. I just don't know who it is against. It's Dos Anjos.
Yeah.
But I do think he might have someone's talking about him. I think someone brought his name up in a shout out recently. Yeah, Dan Hooker's, I think other side of the world. Dariush, I mean, is Gaethje going to be number 2 and fight Paul Felder at 55? Is Paul Felder even still in the 55-pound division sometimes? Yeah, I think he takes the last-minute fights at 170 because he doesn't have the cut. Islam, Kevin Lee, Iaquinta Gregor Gillespie fight just got canceled.
Yeah.
He either can take the risk of fighting someone who is heavily outside of his ranking, which he's not opposed to fighting anybody on the roster. But there's also that risk of losing to that guy. And now I think, Gaethje goes from 2 to 10 in one night, or he can sit it out and see what happens. It's just bad luck. I don't think that the UFC is deliberately, I guess kind of. Yeah. The Chandler thing, Chandler definitely did take a spot. Now that I say it out loud, that should have been Gaethje. The Chandler hype train is real, though, because it's not a hype train. It is a well-earned spot. It just sucks that Gaethje's the victim of that spot getting taken.
It's real, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Chandler is at much of a risk of getting subbed as any of the other names in the conversation. And that's not because of how not good Olivera is, because that statement will never be true. It's just how good his defense is and his hands are. I see Chandler getting it done pretty freaking quickly, honestly. I think it's going to be just like the Dan Hooker thing. I think it's going to probably stuff a takedown, maybe break a clinch, pass a body lock, and smash with a right hand just on the break.
Definitely. All right, champ, talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, like Jose said, I mean, I think it's Poirier. It's financially, it makes sense for him to take McGregor. I mean, obviously, it would make a much bigger payday than fighting for the title. And then I think Olivera. I mean, I think we all agree, Olivera. If they were going to choose 2 guys to fight for the title, Olivera's name is in that list. Especially what he did to Tony. But I think I would like to see him fight Gaethje, because Gaethje did just fight for the title. And he did lose to Khabib. I still think he should be up there for a title shot. But yeah, I mean, I'm still happy with Chandler. With the fact that if Chandler does win, he makes history. He'll be the guy that has a Bellator title and also UFC title. So I think with him, it's gonna be more exciting. But I think Chandler gets it to stand up. I think he knocks him out. I think he knocks out Olivera. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be an exciting fight, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But
Definitely.
it's gonna be so exciting. But I think Chandler wins it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. He could make history here. Just one fight, making his debut, and then the next one fighting for the belt and winning the belt. Shit, that's history to make.
I could probably name more than one other fight, but the big one off the top of the head is Anderson Silva. Rich Franklin got that fight after one fight.
Yeah.
I'm sure Rampage had it. Marvin Eastman, then Chuck. Dan came into the UFC with the 2 Pride titles and technically defended them both for unification, losing both to Anderson and Rampage. So sort of count. But yes, it's not many. It's definitely not many as far as coming in and having one fight. It took Bisping 25 years to win the title. Joe Soto almost got it on 12 minutes notice against TJ Dillashaw. So it's history for sure. No matter, it's been less than 5 times I can think of.
All right, definitely. All right, so now let's jump in to UFC 260. Now let's go ahead and jump up to the main card. Yeah, there's only 4 matches in this card. I mean, interesting. But we do have 3 in the early prelims, 3 other ones later on in the afternoon, and then 4. So it's very short card. I'm
what is that? 10
surprised.
fights? 3 plus 4 is 10. Yeah, math is hard.
10 fights in total. That's it.
It's kind of refreshing, but it's also not in a sense because I can watch I've watched 2 UFC cards that have started back to back. Australia to Germany was started 7 to midnight and then midnight to 4 a.m. and I watched all 22 of those fights without even question. And I'll sit through 13 fights and drink coffee and be like, how am I going to stay awake for this? And I just do it. So 10 fights is in a way kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
It's old school. I mean, the original golden era dark age cards were only 10 fights. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, definitely. Now, before we even touch the main card, I want to get you guys' thought. Who are your, what match in the prelims are you guys are interested to see? So I'll go back to you, Coach. Who do you feel on the prelims that you're looking forward to see?
Let's see. I think on this one, I think it's gonna be exciting to see. I think it's Khabib's. Is it his brother or his cousin that's on the fight? I forget.
I got it right here. Let's pull that Wikipedia up. Open new tab. That is.
Yeah, I always forget. I can't remember which. I know he's got a brother and one in the PFL or a cousin in the PFL, or it's vice versa. There's one on PFL and one that's in the UFC, and I always get them mixed up.
Notable rebel. It's his cousin.
His cousin. Okay, so his cousin. Yeah, that should be a fun fight to see where. How that smash power of the get-offs comes into play. Yeah, so I think that's gonna be a fun fight. It's underrated, it's in the prelim card, but I think that'll be a fun fight to watch.
All right.
I'll keep my eye on that one for sure.
Definitely, director. Do you have one?
Hell yeah, I have one. I brought this up before it got canceled last time. I think 2 cards ago, and that's going to be Jillian Robinson versus Miranda Maverick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miranda
Maverick. That's her real name. Maverick, it's not like a nickname with John McCain or anything like that. I've compared her to a female Matt Hughes. She is very young, debuted in Invicta when she was 19. 4 years ago, it's exactly 19. And is so strong. She literally works on a farm lifting bales of hay and wrestling with her dad. That is her training regimen. It's very Matt Hughes-esque. Just a strong corn-fed white girl that will pick you up and slam you, take you on the ground and smash you. And she's only getting better. And not that she's a character on the mic, but she does talk on the mic. She's really good at speaking her mind on the mic, calling her shots, calling her fights. But if she's on the undercard, or if she's even on the main card, she's always going to be the one to watch, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Richard.
That's the fight I was going to pick as well. Like you said it perfectly. She's kind of Matt Hughes-esque. She had a great Invicta career. One of her big wins was versus, I believe it was Perla Gonzalez, which was the big win in her career. And I like this fight because she's kind of coming in heavy favorite, but Jillian is no slouch. I think she's coming off a loss. I know she comes from a great camp from, I think, American Top Team with Dean Thomas. So that says, a lot. So it's going to be an exciting fight, but I'd like to see how Robertson's going to approach this. Her back is against the wall. She's ranked number 15. I know I follow her a lot on Instagram, and she's always saying I have to be at least top 10. I've been fighting for the last few years. So this is a big fight for her to see if she could jump into, at least the top 12 or 10 rankings. But, yeah, I still favoring. I mean, I like Jillian, but, yeah, I got to give it for Miranda.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the odds pulled up in that, and it is they don't have UFC didn't put up the betting odds, but Tapology does have the favorite odds, and Miranda Maverick has 75% of the votes, I guess. That's obviously not the biggest stats, which are what matters most, but that looks about correct in my opinion.
All right, definitely. All right, champ, what do you got?
I'm excited for the return of Jessica Penne.
Oh, I know.
I'm so excited. I'm so glad that that the UFC kept her, and the fact that she's his first fight since 2017, so she's had such a long layoff of injuries.
4 years, man, for some.
And when it comes to women martial arts, she's such a pioneer. I mean, she's been there for such a long time, and I believe she was the first ever Invicta atomweight champion. So she had built such a great career in Invicta. So it's gonna be exciting, man. I can't wait. To see. Man, 2017 is a long time, so we need to see how she looks.
And she's
I'm
part of
excited.
the Bad Girls Club from Orange County that I love with Carla Esparza and Ashley Evans, who is just awesome. The whole, the whole clique. Is it self-release?
She was an Ultimate Fighter too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah.
Sorry, Konayama was at one point like the head of their crew.
And she was considered one of the best at one point in her career. She was considered one of the best fighters in the strawweight division. Now we'll see how she looks. I'm excited for it.
All right, definitely. I'm looking forward to it myself. Then I might have to, actually now sit down and watch this because I got to get my typology right. So I have to make sure. So which remember, Chris, get ready. All right. And so all right. So
you have, for everyone at home, you have until an hour before the fights to make your picks because something could change in the betting odds or an injury or something you see at the weigh-ins. You can change your picks up until an hour before the first fight. So whatever picks are made tonight, unfortunately, if Alex changes them before now and then, it's all game.
He's picking the worst picks on purpose, okay?
Right.
That's being smart, man.
Sandbagging. And then he's going, what's that movie with the Hustler? Yeah. Color Money, I think it was.
Terrible.
all right, now let's move on to the main card now. Let's go ahead and break down the main card for UFC 260. So
and there's only 4 fights in the main card, right?
Yeah,
So
we have 4
fights.
Yeah,
That's it.
Volkanovski fight got moved.
That's a
Does
shame.
this mean they're going to
Such
cut
a
off the
shame.
price?
Huh?
Saying?
Does this mean they're going to cut off the price at least? Because
I know, right? That's such a big
Yeah,
title
right.
fight too.
So UFC, you think Dana White's gonna do that?
This whole if you take out that main event, it's a fight night. If you put the Tyron Vicente Luke fight as a main event and take off the Miocic fight, it's totally a free fight on ESPN.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
All right. So let's break it down. So the first fight we have Jamie Mulcahy. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Someone help me. Malarkey. Hey, I've been reading all day. All right. I've been
an American swear word.
Malarkey.
There you go. Excuse me. Hey, come on, worthy. Hey, I've been on long meetings all day today. So
I feel you, brother. I feel you. I haven't.
All right. Yeah, you haven't. So just for that, you go first. Now, what do you got?
All right. Wow. Yeah. This is. It's the best that the UFC could do for a main card pay-per-view opener, I guess. Both are coming off of losses. Malarkey's coming off of 2 decision losses, but Worthy is coming off a devastating KO to Otman Al-Zaitar, who may or may not still be with the company for a sack of potatoes getting smuggled into a hotel room in Abu Dhabi. We found out that a sack of fucking potatoes that were getting smuggled in through the hotel balcony.
I don't believe that, but all right.
Yeah, if by potatoes you mean other things, maybe. But yeah, I don't even know why you would. Yeah, I don't understand.
Those potatoes are laced.
Those are some of those Canelo tacos. These are potatoes.
Tacos con papa right there.
There you go.
So what I'm looking at here is that Malarkey lost 2 decisions. So those are 3-round beatings. Where Worthy was on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 fight win streak until he lost in a minute. The odds are definitely heavily in Worthy's favor, and most of his fights are finished by knockout. So I am going to give him a TKO in round 2, based on just the averages that I see in the numbers. Losing to Otman is no shame, especially when it's quick like that. That guy just comes out and kills you pretty efficiently within the first round. That's how he deals with most of his opponents. So it's not exactly a beatdown over the course of 15 minutes. So I think Worthy probably has a better chance to come back from a loss and deal with that loss than someone who's been down, upwards of 6 rounds in a row in the past year or two, like Malarkey has. So that will be my pick.
All right. Richard, who do you got on this one?
I gotta agree with Chris. Worthy, he has a stellar career outside of UFC. Coming off a tough loss, but his UFC record, still young, 2-1. His biggest win so far is to Luis Pena, who's no slouch either.
Yeah.
The statistics don't lie. 16 wins, 9 of those are KO. So I see a KO win for Worthy. Malarkey's back against the wall. So I like this. That's what I like to see. Also, he's gonna have to come out with guns blazing. He's 0-2 in the UFC. With this loss, he might be cut. I'm making a lot of cuts lately, so he's gonna have to do something. But yeah, Worthy for sure. KO.
KO round 2.
Yeah, I can see round 2. Yeah, I would say that too.
All right, champion. Do what you...
I'm gonna go Worthy on this one. I just feel like what I like about him is he always goes for the finish. He's always going for the kill, which I like. Especially we did with Devontae Smith and then Pena, and he's coming off a loss, so I feel like he's gonna come back much stronger and he's gonna be much prepared. But then again, Malarkey, he's fighting for his job, so we don't know, how he's gonna come off for this one. But yeah, I see Worthy coming off the win. I think finish probably in the first round.
First round TKO?
Hands or subs?
Yeah.
Which one? Submission or strikes?
I think strikes.
Okay, cool.
Okay, perfect. All right, coach.
Yeah, just from seeing Worthy's resume, he's got a great resume. I mean, he was on that 7-fight win streak before he got put his lights out by Ottoman, which is like Chris said, he's no slouch. It's not a bad defeat at all. Worthy's 12-4, only 4 losses, but unfortunately, the 2 losses are recent, both in the UFC. So he's definitely fighting for his career. I think you're going to see Worthy coming back, and I think he's going to win, but I'm going to go with decision. I think he's going to be a little more hesitant on rushing it to try and get the kill just because he's coming off that big knockout. So look for him to win and be a little more strategic on this fight, I think, and I go decision on this fight for Worthy.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to agree with you on that, Coach. I'm with you on that. I'm going to go Worthy decision as well. Because, yeah, he does look kind of hesitant, and I don't think I don't know. He's going to get too nervous, in my opinion. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to get knocked out like that again,
Mm-hmm.
And especially the way the UFC's been cutting people. Malarkey definitely has to win. Do I see him being able to win this fight? No. So I think he's definitely on the chopping block, but I think Worthy doesn't want to get to that point in his career right now. He was on such a hot streak. I think he wants to keep it going and win again. So I think he's going to play smart, get that decision win and win the fight. I don't think he's going to risk his chin to get, put out again.
Yeah. Definitely. All right. So we got the next one coming up is Sean O'Malley versus Thomas Almeria. So, director, I'll go back to you.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just now looking up that they did obviously officially diagnose what caused O'Malley to lose the Marlon Vera fight. And the doctor's consensus was strikes by Marlon Vera. So professionally, that he lost that fight. The cause of loss was leg kick strikes. That did not result in a permanent or long form injury like a torn ACL or something like that. So how he recovers and how he humbles himself, I don't think he's humbling himself at all.
No.
I haven't been paying attention to the social media. I don't know if I still follow him. When I follow somebody, I don't unfollow them unless they post some stupid shit or nudity. I don't think he's done. Hopefully, he's not done either of those. If he has, let me know. I'll look that up. But how he comes back, I don't see him changing his game and his style. Sorry, I'm hiccuping from water. That's weird. I don't see him changing his style or his attitude. Thomas Almeida, when he debuted in his first couple of fights after that, the dude was just a human whirlwind of razor blades and flying knees and spinning shit. He was straight out of like your little brother spamming Mortal Kombat moves. We saw that in a lot of his early fights, and I think he still has that style, even though he's losing with that style. I think O'Malley is good on the feet. His hands are solid, and he's patient enough where I think he can withstand some flashy shit and kind of do what he did to Eddie Weinstein. Wineland, yeah. Where he was patient enough.
WC legend.
Yeah.
I
don't know where Weinstein. I don't know. Anyways,
that's a different story.
Yeah, for sure. I think Sean O'Malley can use some patience in slip boxing and kind of get in and crack him a few times, maybe TKO in the first round, kind of like how Cody got Thomas.
Oh yeah.
I know MMA math isn't real, But that's just how I see the game plans going right now. I don't think that leg injury that was caused by actual damage, that was definitely not a freak accident, shook O'Malley's game plan and his attitude. So I think TKO, actually, I think face down KO round 1 by O'Malley.
I think didn't Chandler have the same kind of situation happen to him in Bellator too? Like,
Yes.
he got cat kicked, right? His leg went dead, right?
Yeah,
like,
it was a low. Like, he recovered though in the match, in the fight, right? Did he recover?
No, I think they stopped it.
They stopped it
because he couldn't like put it. He could put weight on that leg.
Foot.
Yeah.
Like, it went dead.
Technically, it's called
off.
foot drop, but it's an injury causes it. You just hit a nerve and your leg just doesn't correspond. It's like severing an electrical cable and then your PlayStation doesn't work. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And it was against Primus, right?
Say again?
It was against
Primus. I think it was a Brent Primus fight. Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, that's what I got. I got a face plant. I made it down KO by O'Malley round 1.
Ooh.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Richard.
I pretty much just see the same, but I see round 2. I think he's gonna fill out a little bit the first round, do some flashy shit, and then second round go for the KO. O'Malley is coming off that loss, like Chris, said it pretty well. It was pretty much a leg injury. They didn't get enough credit to Marlon, all the haters, saying, giving him so much flack, but he lost because, he kicks our bitch pretty much. And pretty much I'm going to go with O'Malley. Last loss in odds. I mean, his statistics speak for itself. Out of his 12 wins, he has 8 knockouts. Almeida is no slouch. I mean, he came in his UFC career, guns blazing. He was a contender at one point. But looking at, his last 5 fights, I believe he's 1-4. He's a losing streak of 3 losses. So not really looking well. It's kind of, I wouldn't say a tune-up fight, but kind of is for O'Malley. Just fill it out and get a impressive highlight reel win. So, yeah, second round knockout for O'Malley.
All right. Alex.
It's kind of sad because at one point Alameda was, he was like the hype. He was like the guy. He was climbing up the rankings, and he just never was the same after Cody Garbrandt. That fight.
Oh, yeah.
He was never the same.
20-0 going into that fight too, which is absurd.
Yeah.
Especially because all those fights were in Brazil. That's a hard record to get down there.
He beat Brett Pickett at one time too.
Yeah.
KO'd him with a knee.
Yeah. And and he was like he was the Legacy FC champ too, he just was never the same after Cody. So, I feel like if he does lose this, I feel like he will get released because it'll be 4 in a row, and he hasn't, so it's gonna be interesting to see. I feel like the real reason why they put him against O'Malley, like Rich said, it's like it's a tune-up. If O'Malley, I feel like they want O'Malley to get his confidence back up, especially after the Vera fight, and they picked Alameda, and it would be cool to see Alameda win. I'm not gonna lie, it would be cool to see him win, especially.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious. Actually, it'd be great.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like O'Malley, it would just be funny.
He might be cut too as well. His back is against the wall.
O'Malley?
No.
Oh no, I'm talking Alameda.
Oh yeah.
It's sorry guys, it's Almeida.
Almeida.
Yeah.
Please, guys, let's go. Almeida, come on.
But
Almeida,
I'll go
boys.
with.
We're Hispanic. We can say Almeida. Let's go. Come on.
Exactly. Almeida.
I'm gonna go with O'Malley. I'll see it second or third round TKO. Fortunately, I wish Almeida would win, but I just don't see it happening. It would, like I said, if he was to get this win, I feel like his career will go back, back on top. Especially, he would, if he beats O'Malley, oh my God, he would ruin so many things for O'Malley, because I feel like they have a lot of things planned for O'Malley, especially if he wins this fight. So if he does, he ruins some plans for him, and I don't think Dana will be too happy either.
No.
So, yeah, I mean, but unfortunately, I don't see it happening. I see O'Malley winning, and I see him stopping him in the second or third round.
So which one do you choose more, second or third?
We're holding you to this, just your topology is being recorded right now.
Probably, I'll go second.
All right, second. I want to make sure.
Second, third, same thing.
He's lying.
All right, Coach.
Yeah, you know what? This is an interesting fight. Almeida coming off that 3-fight losing skid. It's tough. The only thing I thought with his last fight, his back was against the wall. You don't want to get that third loss, and he just didn't. He didn't show up again. He didn't have that fire to want to like finish the fight or win it at the end or pull out. Kind of leave it on the line in the third round. I feel like he didn't do that in the third round. So I don't see Almeida winning this fight. I don't see him. Honestly, I could see O'Malley. I'm seeing O'Malley win the fight. I definitely don't think he's going to change anything in his game plan. I think him and Connor were in the same camp. They didn't, trade, practice those low kicks. So they didn't know what it was like to get low kicked in the calf kick or something. I don't know, which is kind of hurdle for me, but whatever. But I don't think that's going to change anything in his game plan. He's still going to come out flashy, come out aggressive. But Almeida's tough, man. Like he doesn't, he's been put away. Cody Garbrandt was one, and I think Rob Font put him out with a head kick, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, two good fighters, but I just don't see him getting put out. I think he's going to come out still strong, not win the fight, still give a decent performance, like he's kind of been doing, just decent enough to where I think he's going to lose, but he's going to be a third round. It's going to be a decision. I'm going to go with decision on this one. I see O'Malley going to win it, but I think he isn't going to have enough to put out Almeida.
Decision, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
It is tough. This is an extremely tough fight.
Yeah.
What's your
And I
prediction,
don't know.
Ivan?
The thing that doesn't bother me with O'Malley is just he didn't give enough credit to Cheeto. I thought Cheeto came out with a great game plan when he beat him. And I think he was just really kind of immature about it and just didn't give the guy credit.
No,
I was like, no, man, you got low kick. He worked his game plan. He worked his kicks, and he beat you with a good, solid game plan. I don't know. I think that kind of mentality is what makes me doubt him that he might be able to put away Almeida. Because Almeida's tough, man. He's not going to be an easy guy to just, put him away. And I think Almeida's hopefully he's going to be smart enough to know that his career's on the line with the UFC with 3 losses in a row. And hopefully he puts on a better fight. But, we'll see. He hasn't done it so far. So can't say he will. Can't say he will.
Yeah, I agree. And
What's your prediction, Ivan?
It's tough. It's tough coming from three losses, on a losing streak. Might be cut.
Yeah.
I mean, this is O'Malley's comeback pretty much. It's 2-0, you guys said earlier. So,
and Almeida's so talented too.
Yeah.
He had all the talent, man. Like when he was coming in, they're
so
calling him the next Aldo.
Yeah.
They're calling him the next Aldo. Like his striking was on
so much
point.
hype on him.
He was super sharp in his stand up. And like you said, that after that Cody fight, man, he just hasn't been the same. I mean, he got a victory after that against Morales, but he still hasn't. I don't know. Jimmy Rivera beat him pretty well. Rob Font knocked him out, and then he has his decision loss, I think, to Martinez. So.
It's sad because if he loses this fight and he gets released, he's pretty much like a bust.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, on this one, I'm gonna have to go with O'Malley decision too, man. I think Almeida is gonna put a tough fight all 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be a close. In my opinion, I feel it's gonna might be close, but Sean's gonna win it though. It sucks.
Yeah,
because
I'm worried that Almeida might. The smart move might be to land some of those leg kicks low early in the fight and see what happens.
And he's got good kicks, man. He's
definitely
a solid kicker, man.
His legs are samurai swords, and he can throw them just as accurately as anyone else that can.
He does come out of that shooter box. I mean, shooter box is known for their kicks.
So if he throws some of those leg kicks just to feel out O'Malley, and if they land, that's money in the bank in the later rounds. So that is a possible good game plan. As someone who is an armchair quarterback with Cheeto fingers would predict, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've never been in the cage, but I would like to see if that's something that's a professional would think is a smart idea.
Right. It's just surprising to me how many guys are coming out saying that they weren't ready for low kicks or these calf kicks. I mean, granted, I don't know. It's been around for about 4 or 5 years that it's really been popular. Started with Benson Henderson.
Yes, sir.
Benson was definitely the first guy I ever saw throw a calf kick, and definitely he didn't create as much damage as guys are doing now, like shutting off the leg. But to me, like when Connor was like, in his camp, we're like, we didn't train that or we weren't ready, and it's like, I mean, there's kind of been a trend for a while. We've seen guys get calf kick pretty bad, where it's really changes the fight, the tempo of the fight. I don't see how these guys don't know about it or aren't training something or getting ready for that the fight. Like, you got to get ready for everything. Like, to me, it was just surprising. O'Malley said kind of the same thing, but I think that's just his
I
arrogance.
didn't train kick for a pro fight.
Yeah, right.
Like,
What? Like, and Connor, I think is just he's been strictly concentrating on his boxing. I know he's getting ready for trying to get that Pacquiao fight, so maybe he's just more concentrated on that. But still, when his own coach was like, "Oh, we figured out how to stop the calf kick," it's like, oh, I think
I don't know if it was.
I'm like, that sounded just too strange to me, especially coming from a coach. I'm like, I think you should know already. That should have already been in your arsenal for your other fighters too. Like, something's going off.
Agreed.
I don't know if it was another UFC fighter. Hopefully, God not, or maybe an Emmy fighter, or maybe just some troll who said, like, I think low leg calf kicks should be illegal. They're too effective.
I heard that too. I heard that. I'm like, you're out of your mind.
And then the whole thread under it was people replying with, while we're at it, we need to ban punches. They're too effective. They stop fights. Below that, we should ban reffing, and we should ban judges. And we should ban head kicks. And then
I heard that. I forget who it was too. Somebody brought that up. I'm like, that it's just nonsense.
Yeah,
that's nonsense. Get out of here, man. Gonna ban a calf kick.
we gotta ban uppercuts, bro. They're too effective.
Right? Yeah. Now Derek Lewis. Thanks to Derek Lewis, nobody can uppercut ever again. Right?
All right.
Out of here.
All right, let's move on to the next one. The next fight we got Tyron Woodley. Okay, coming back. Okay, Vicente Luque. Man. Well, I'll start with Richard. Richard, what do you got on this one?
This is a tough one because, again, Woodley's, 0-3. 3 losses in a row, back against the wall. He needs to do something. Vicente's no slouch. I think his record in UFC is 12-3. He came into a little rocky. I think his outside of the UFC match is 7-4. But if you see his 3 losses are to, beasts in the sport. He lost to Steven Thompson. He lost to Leon Edwards. He lost to Michael Graves, who's kind of forgotten name, but he was coming up the rank as UFC and then got cut to some outside problems. He's in the tier 2 in the Indies and Titan FC. But yeah, back to Luque. He's a dangerous fighter. 19 wins, 11 of those are by knockout. While Woodley is also, a dangerous fighter. He's a world champion. He's won the Strikeforce Championship. He's a UFC champion. He's beaten Stephen Wonderboy Thompson twice. Once and in a draw. He beat Robbie Lawler, Kevin Gastelum. The list goes on. Josh Koscheck, Jay Heron. The who's who in that division he's beaten. But it's just a mental block for him. I believe ever since I lost to Usman, he hasn't been the same. He lost to Gilbert Burns and Kobe Covington, and
Usman.
I see a possibility, and Usman. So 3 losses in a row, and I see Luque being that 4th loss in a row, which is hard to see. It's very hard to see because Woodley is, a talented fighter. He has great wrestling. He even has some power of his own, but it's just something about it that he can't jump over that invisible wall in his brain.
Too much entertainment, man. That's why I was doing this. He got lazy. He got fucking lazy, and that's why all these 3 fights that he lost was because of that. I feel has not been focused on his career in the ring. In the octagon, excuse me. Then
he was rapping too.
Yeah, just I don't know, but I'll give my thoughts about it right after. But
you could say like, it was. It's just difficult how to say because you could say the same thing with early career. He had a devastating loss to Nate Marquardt with an uppercut against the cage.
Oof.
Marquardt
was fantastic on that fight in the Strikeforce.
Yeah.
Bro, that was like a 10-punch combo, something out of a video game in that fight.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
It was beautiful. It did, like you said, look like something from a video game. He was standing and still getting knocked out. Even his soul was knocked out at one point. Yeah. But, he jumps over that. He comes to UFC, successful, wins the champion. So I don't know what's the excuse. I hope it isn't. Like Jana White says, once you're under those bright lights of UFC, a lot of things change mentally. It doesn't help when your own boss is crapping on you since you won the belt. But yeah, 4 losses in a row won't be pretty, and we'll see where he goes from there. But I gotta pick Vicente. I'm gonna go knockout for Vicente.
What round?
I'm gonna say 3rd round.
Okay. Interesting. All right, I love that. All right, champ, what you got?
As much as I want to pick Willie, I just can't. With the problem with his last 3 fights is he just doesn't press the gas. He doesn't throw. He just does a lot of movement, a lot of feints. He just doesn't throw. And I feel like I don't know if it was because of Usman or Nate Marquardt. I don't know if it was any of those fights, but it's just he's not the same. You know, he doesn't throw, and I feel like that's what happens when he loses fights. That's the reason he just doesn't do anything. You know, especially like when I watched him fight Burns. Oh my god, I was so like freaking pissed off because he wasn't doing anything against Burns.
Not a damn thing, man.
Oh my god,
That was
like, do something, man. I'm like, do something. You know, wasn't throwing anything, and
or Kobe, or against the fight with Kobe. I was super disappointed in that fight.
Oh my god, that's
Super
another
disappointed
one.
in that
to
fight.
throw something. Like he does all these movements, he does these feints, he's trying to set it up and doesn't throw anything. And you know, and if he can't do that against Vicente. Vicente's just too tough. He has a lot of power. He, you know, knocks out guys, and he's a killer. So I'm gonna go with, Vicente on this one, and I think it's gonna be a decision because Willie. One thing about Willie, he has a good jaw, and he hardly gets, you know, stopped. So I'm gonna go with Vicente on this one. I think a decision.
All right. Okay. All right. Director.
What up, man? I don't think any of us would have had these opinions if we were running this show back when we had the belts just the day before the Usman fight. I don't even want to say there were flashes of brilliance and awesome championship work ethic. His title win against Robbie Lawler was a one-shot knockout. Caught him circling to the left and hit him with the boom right. It was awesome. I love Lawler. I was kind of disappointed, you know, Woodley won that fight, but I would never blame the winner of a fight. The Darren Till fight, he dropped him. I thought he was going to KO him, dropped him, finished him with a darts, got his black belt off that finish. Great fight. I was very impressed. I was like, this is the fight where I'm a Woodley fan. And then the next 3 fights happened, and I don't know if Usman took a soul or if there's outside forces that are weighing on him like they did, you know, for Conor. I'm not in his head. I don't know anything about making anything over 5 figures a year. So that could do you dirty a little bit. I understand. Woodley has the skill and the talent. I don't know if it is the trick shy. I don't know if it's scared. I don't know if it's also very likely that he's just fighting guys that are just great. And that's just all it comes down to is that coin flip in the ring. I don't see Vicente having any issues handling them in any part of the fight. I'm picking Luque by decision because that seems like the smart money, but I don't think it's going to be a total blowout. I think Woodley puts up a decent fight. I hope there's some remnants of the Woodley we've seen in his wins. I mean, 5, 6, he went 7 fights without a loss in a row, you know, counting that draw, but he was beating the shit out of Wonder Boy even in that first match that went to a draw. Okay. So I want to see if any version of Woodley's still around because it just would be sad to see someone that good just be squandered off of their own mental inability to perform. I'd almost rather see him just try and go out on a shield instead of not even bringing the shield to the fight. You know what I'm saying? But I do. With that being said, the way the numbers are going, I'm picking Luque by decision. He's not KOing Woodley, I don't think, and I don't think he's going to sub him. I don't think Luque really has a big sub record. He's got 6 out of 19 wins or sub. That's actually pretty good. Yeah. But 11 KOs. I just think Woodley's not one of the guys he's going to KO. So I think
I have a question. I have a question for you guys. I have a question. If Woodley loses, should he retire?
Should he retire? Probably not. Would he retire? Probably not.
I mean, he's 38.
He is 38.
I would say yeah. Just go to TMZ, bro. Stick with TMZ. Just stick with all the media stuff, man. Or go to Bellator. Yeah. I'll keep saying go to Bellator.
I see him going somewhere else before he retires. I don't think he feels like his body is taking the wear and tear. I think it's all in the head.
And he has good training. I mean, he trains with Rufus, doesn't he? Like he comes with a really good team.
Yeah, exactly. He's one of the main partners of Phil Brooks, which is great.
There goes your answer, right? There goes your answer, right?
Wow.
The jiu-jitsu coach.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Rufus is a freaking great coach, man.
He did hype him up pretty well, though. I have to admit that.
Yeah, he did.
Oh my God.
Remember that documentary they did?
Yeah. It was like CM Punk was like sparring with Luke Rockhold, and they were like, yeah. I was like, what are you trying to prove with this? Who are you convincing that CM can hang with Luke Rockhold? Luke Rockhold is a dick deuce, but like he can fight his ass off.
Yeah, definitely. Coach.
Man, Woodley. What can I say? I mean, I'm a Woodley fan. I think he's a great fighter. He's a good champion. You know, his come up in Striker was great. When he lost that Marquardt fight, I was really surprised. You know, it super caught me off guard. I mean, I've been a huge fan of Marquardt as well at that time.
Oh yeah,
like I'd followed his career, so I know
he
was a great fighter, but I know he wasn't that, you know, in his prime anymore. So when I saw him show up that day and just, I mean, dismantle Woodley the way he did, I was super shocked. So I was like kind of waiting to see how Woodley was going to do in the UFC. You know, he started off really good, got the belt, but I think Kamaru took everything out of him. I don't know. He really hasn't been the same after that fight. I think Usman just took his soul and kind of a little bit of that fire and spirit. I mean, with Burns, like we said, he had nothing. I mean, he didn't show, like, he didn't put up a fight, like, at all. That was a shame to see. And then Kobe, I was super disappointed in the Kobe fight. Like, after all the trash talk that happened between the two of them and everything that he was saying about Kobe and what he's going to do, and then to put on that kind of performance, and then he stopped because of a rib injury, I was just like, what? Like,
even John Jones said the same thing. Like, really?
Like, yeah, like a rib injury. Like, I get it. I mean, look, I've popped my rib. You can. I'm not an MMA fighter. I've never been in the cage either. But rib injuries suck. But I mean, you're in there with a guy you hate, who hates you and trash talk you this whole time, and your career could be on the line. Especially you already have issues with Dana. This could be your third loss in a row. Why wouldn't you put it all out there, especially against this guy? Like, it just boggled my mind as to why he didn't like show up at all. You know, and that's what leads me to Lucas definitely gonna win the fight. I think Lucas is gonna come in there. He's got something to prove. In his fight against Thompson, it was a close fight. He lost a close fight against Thompson. You know, it wasn't like it was a great fight. It's not like he got blown away. You know, he hasn't been blown away by any of these guys. He's lost all his fights in the UFC that he's lost are all decision. Tough opponents. You know, so I definitely see him winning. It's gonna be a decision. I don't think he puts away Woodley. Woodley definitely has a great jaw, and you know he'll take the pain and punishment. But I think Luque by decision for sure. But I just think, you know, as far as should Woodley retire, I think so. I think mentally he's just not all there anymore. I don't want to see the guy like take any more damage. Just as a fan, I don't like to see him take more damage. I think he's got so many other things outside the cage, like TMZ, movies, you know, music, regardless of what we think about it and whether it's legit or not. You know, he's making money. He's got a career out of it. And it's like, you know, and obviously you could tell that's also affecting his training, and he's probably not training as much or as hard as he used to because he's getting more bank out of these other stuff that he's doing outside the cage. You know, so I think he should stick to that, keep his TMZ job and his rap career or whatever, and, you know, kind of go that, or maybe go commentate somewhere, you know, do something like that. He's not a bad commentator.
No, he's not.
There's always bare
knuckle. Oh, God, no. God, no, man.
No, as a commentator, not as a fighter.
As a commentator, okay, I'm cool with that.
Commentator.
Fighter, no, please, no.
He'll get knocked out.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I definitely see Luque taking this one by the round. And Luke he's on fire, man. He's looking for that guy. He's looking to come up. He's looking to, you know, surprise everybody in UFC and start, you know, making a name for himself. Start coming up the ranks, you know, get up to the top 5. So I'm going with Luque at the round decision for sure.
Definitely, I'm with you too. Decision as well with Vicente for sure. It just that, how you said, it just Woodley, he got too main focus on the entertainment. And I mean, before his loss to Usman losing the belt, I mean, during that period of time, you didn't see much of his training. You didn't see much of him doing what he needed to do to prepare for that, you know, for that title fight, defending it. He was more focused on just all our social media, like doing all the social media things, and that's why I think it started from there. How you said, like his mental, like his pride just went down from there. His ego just, and then from there back to back, you know, to Burns and to Covington. Covington was the worst one of all. Like they just. All that trash, all that hype, all that.
A lot of people wanted him to kick Covington's ass, and
me too. Man, I was going for Woodley. I'm like, come on, shut this fucker up, you know, like. I gotta give it to Covington though, man. He, you know, he talks his shit, but hey,
he backed it up in that fight.
He backed it up.
He showed up 100% for that fight
already. I give him credit what he's due for that. Yeah. But I would have expected Woodley to do more, especially how you said, like, you know, this is.
All the trash talk, the drama that came out of that fight, like I was like, man, this is not what I expected out of Woodley.
I thought
like, this is where he's gonna come back. He's gonna show the old Woodley. You know,
Yeah.
he's gonna put it on him.
Yeah.
And then as the fight progresses, he's like, oh
No.
this is the Burns fight all over again, except worse because Kobe's just putting a beating on you.
But you noticed too that he was so gassed out quick though. Like I think right after the second round, he was already like,
Yeah, he was breathing heavy throughout that fight.
heavy.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, he's not in shape. He's like no longer the shape he used to be. It maybe could be the ageist factor. I'm hoping. I don't think it has nothing to do with that, but I feel that I think he should retire. Just go do commentating.
Yeah, I think it's a mental block. To me, I think it's a mental block. Something when he's in the cage or something he's missing. He's not pulling the trigger. He's just kind of in there, and it's like he's hoping to win a decision or like to kind of hold out, see how long he can hang in the fight. Like it's weird when he's in the cage. It's not the same guy. I don't see the same fire. And
that's what he thought he could have done with Covington. If you notice that he was just like holding him down, killing the time to see, okay, I'm going to be winning. Because of the points I'm getting. No, you're not. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to go over Sunday on decision on this one because he's not gonna lose right away. He's gonna just give up a fight because he has a job. But I think this is his last time we're gonna see Woodley in UFC.
Oh yeah, especially with his relationship with Dana.
PFL.
Yeah, no PFL, bro. Commentators,
$1 million.
Hey, I can see it with Anthony going out there, his teammate going out there. I can see him doing the same. But I mean, hopefully he kind of calls it a day and just kind of. Does his thing, but I could see the PFL thing. I could see $1 million pot.
$1 million.
Yeah, hard to give up $1 million.
Yeah,
so
that's very true. All right, so now let's go to the main event. All right, so Stipe Miocic defending your title
right here. You're paying $60 for one fight.
Pretty much.
I know, right? Jesus, $60 for I guess it's for
no, it's gone up. It's $70 now.
Whatever.
70?
Yeah, it went up. Yeah, no, it went up.
Jesus.
I remember I just had heard in a podcast. I remember if it was Morning Combat or Fighting a Kid, but they're saying the price point went up. Yeah.
Especially with like the HD stuff too.
Which I find ridiculous.
That's right. But yep. Richard, I'll go to you. Who do you got in this one?
Oh, you're putting me in a hot seat first.
Yeah.
Miocic. I mean, what else can you say with his record? I mean, I've been a fan of him since even when he lost to Stefan Struve. I just saw something in him. He comes back and defeats Nelson, and he keeps on winning. And he lost to Dos Santos, and he goes on a tear, becomes champion, ends up beating Junior Dos Santos in the rematch. He's beating Alistair Overeem, Fabricio Verdum, Arlovsky, Hunt. I mean, he's beating the who's who. And he really solidified to me, the greatest heavyweight of all time. I'm a big Cain Velasquez fan.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm a big fanboy of him, and always the greatest. But, I mean, I think Stipe has done it. I think he is the greatest heavyweight of all time. And he'll just solidify even more if he defeats Nagano. But for this one, I think it hurts me to say, but I'm going to go with Nagano. I think I believe there's been a fire lifted, up his butt. I mean, he's winning 4 wins in a row.
Yeah.
15 wins, 11 by knockout. His record and statistics speak for himself. He, people forget Nagano could submit also. He has 4 wins by submission, so you never know. I think he's learned a lot since that loss to Miocic. So if he goes to the ground, maybe he has some tricks up his sleeve that we don't know. I think we're going to find a totally different Nagano. I don't believe there was a lot of how Dana would say, it got to his head, and he has all this money and his fame, and if that was true, he would have kept on losing. But other than that, he came back. He did lose to Lewis, but that wasn't the greatest performance of Lewis either.
So bad.
No, it was bad.
It was
so bad.
And from there, he beats Blaze, Velasquez, who that one hurt me, was a punch to the gut, but Velasquez has been done even before that fight. Then he beats Dos Santos, and then he KOs the knockout artist, Rosenstrike, who's knocking everyone's block off, and he does that. So I think there's been for sure a fire lifted up them, and I'll say Nagano knockout. I believe I'm saying 3rd round knockout for Nagano.
Ooh, all right. Director, who did you got?
There's only one thing that can be said that hasn't been said in their original fight. The original fight, Miocic was the champion. He was coming in as the underdog, which is crazy. I can't count how many times the champion has been the underdog. This is probably one of the only ones in recent history that I can think of. But everything's being said that was said before. Ngannou's got the one punch count power. Obviously, he hits. So I think someone in the last pay-per-view said that he hits like a Ford Escalade going full speed. Which, I guess that's true. I know they have that punching machine at the Apex Center. Everyone's expecting it to go one round decimation via one punch by Ngannou. And in the first fight, that didn't happen. Stipe was smart enough to weather a quick storm in the first round and kind of grind him out for another 24 minutes. That being said, it does take the loser of a first fight, small adjustments in the second fight, and the guy who won the first fight doesn't know what he has to change. He's probably going to stick to the game plan because it worked the first time. So it is really up to what Ngannou has changed that is going to be the deciding factor. If he's worked on some takedown defense or clinch defense, or if he just lands that one shot right away, which he's very capable of doing. It's unfortunate that Stipe is the underdog again, but it takes Stipe a lot longer to win a fight and significantly a lot more punches. I know in the Fabricio Verdun fight, it wasn't quick. It was one punch, but he was backing up and he caught Fabricio chasing. The DC rematch was a storm of punches that were later in the fight.
Yeah.
And most of Ngannou's wins are basically measure fatality.
Mm-hmm.
So that is still a very realistic chance of happening. The smart money, if I'm putting money down, I'm picking the same thing I did last time with Ngannou and Miocic, is Ngannou by KO round 1. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. I'm sorry, Miocic. Like, I hope you win. You are the GOAT. You beat the original GOAT, who was Verdun, and now it's you. And you avenged all of your losses except the Struve fight. So yeah, it's just, now does Ngannou winning this fight make him the GOAT? Nope. He'd have to beat the same people that, or at least level caliber fights that his previous champions have, but it definitely means he's deserved the title.
Okay. All right. Alex.
I love Miocic. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna get crap on for this, but I don't think I don't consider him the greatest. Obviously, you guys know who I think is the greatest.
Oh my god.
That bald guy that never fought in UFC.
Yeah, that bald guy that knocked out
The
everyone.
bald guy that never fought at UFC, bro. Why are you still like obsessed?
Are you talking
with
about
him?
Mark
Fedor
Lehman?
is the
Talking about
greatest.
Mark Lehman?
No.
Mark Lehman?
The Olympic
Show him the toy, bro. Show him
the Olympic
toy.
swimmer who's never been in a pool.
I remember that. Oh my god, that was awesome.
Show him the toy, bro. Show him the action figure, bro.
Sadly, I don't really have one.
I love
I
that
have to
Crow
get
Cop,
one.
by the way. That Crow Cop's baller, dude.
Oh yeah. It's one of my best pieces. But yeah, wait. I do actually have this DVD of Fedor.
Oh my god.
Oh, nice.
The Dollar
Great
Tree.
picture. It's a great picture. Hong Man Choi.
He's the greatest of all time at a Dollar Tree, right?
Yeah.
Dollar Tree, yes. Next to the crackers.
Still the greatest, okay?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Miocic. He's beat him with everyone, Velasquez, knocked out him or Doom, all these guys. If he does beat Ngannou, I mean, retire on top. I mean, if he does beat Ngannou, I would retire because really, if you think about what else is there besides Francis, and it's not like Miocic is getting any younger.
He's 38 too.
John
Yeah.
Jones.
I know, but I just don't see that happening for some reason. If Miocic does beat Ngannou, I don't see Miocic fighting Jones. I think he retires, and then Jones fights either Ngannou or someone. I just don't feel like Miocic has a lot left in him. I think he has a couple fights, but I just don't see him fighting. Jones, even though it would probably be the biggest payday.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you know what? I see Ngannou, even though Ngannou, he beat Rosenstruck. Was that his last fight? Right? That was
Yeah.
his last fight. Right?
Yeah. And that was only in 42 seconds?
Well, 42
Yeah.
seconds, yep.
Even though it was such bad form, he still got the knockout.
I was way off. Yeah, 20 seconds.
Oh my
shit.
gosh, it
20
was so
seconds.
bad. I remember telling Rich, I'm like, gosh, it's so horrible. But hey, he got the job done. He got a knockout of it. But you just can't do that fighting Miocic. You just can't throw bombs like that because Miocic has a really good counter. You know, look what he did to Verdum. You know, so can't do that. He's gonna have to fight a really smart fight against Miocic. I do see Miocic trying to do the same game plan, going for the takedowns. But I don't think he's gonna get one. I think Nagano's working on his takedown defense, and I see Nagano knocking him out, and I see in the first round.
Oh, okay, Francis. All right, you got that right, Chris? We're locking your topology.
Yeah, he's
Change
fine.
it.
All right, yeah. I told you
I
we're
don't
locking
know
your
how
shit. You can't
Why
change it.
lock it. He could do whatever he want. I still be the champ.
Me and
so.
Alex pick almost the same picks for the main card, and he still beats me. It's bullshit. He gets it in the undercard. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Except for that Aljamain Sterling thing, which I think was the
God.
Oh my god.
who's
Yes.
now gloating with the belt and posing like he won it,
I
but it is
know.
what it is. Ivan, you got picks, right? We'll lock your shit down.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta get the coach, man. Talk to me, coach.
So two concerns I have in this fight. One is the cage size. I heard they're doing a smaller cage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
Which-
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't think
true.
about that.
I see a plus and minus in that one. I see it as a plus for Ngannou because he doesn't have to chase Stipe around the cage. He can kind of pin him up against the cage. But at the same time, that also means Stipe doesn't have to go that far to push back Ngannou against the cage, make him, really wrestle up against the cage, clinch him, wear him out, wear his shoulders out, which is what he did on the first fight. If you remember that, it wasn't really the takedown. It just really helped, not trying to finish the takedown, but getting him to defend, getting him to wear his shoulders out, wear down his arms so his power drops with every round. Every round he gets a little more tired, a little more exhausted. And I can see that's happening with the smaller cage if you go on the smaller cage, but that also puts a lot of fear in me as far as like Ngannou's power. You don't got much places to run. Ngannou hits you with one shot, it's good night.
Yeah, you go down. That's the only
Yeah,
way I see
you go down for sure. And the other thing that I've kind of been weary is I know Stipe has had problems with his eye, and I know he had a big problem. He had to have surgery, and I'm not sure how fully recovered he is from that. That's one thing I'm kind of worried about. But I think too many times we count out Stipe. I think Stipe is a smart fighter who has a good game plan. Now everybody's saying like, oh, and Gano's worked on this, and listen, he's knocked everybody out in the first round. That's great. He knocked Curtis Blades out. I give him that one. That's a tough fight, but he knocked him out in 45 seconds of the first round. And Blades doesn't have the greatest chin to talk about anyways, as it is. Velasquez, that one really hurt my feelings too. I love Velasquez. I'm a huge fan. But that was an older Kane, a broken Kane who was not the same. So, I mean, he knocked him out. Junior Dos Santos, same thing. Older Dos Santos, not the same guy, not the same, chin, not the same width with all as far as his striking. He's got solid boxing, but he hasn't been the same since Dos Santos took his soul and his life in those two fights. I mean, he hasn't really been the same after those two fights. Then as far as for a Rosenstrike, I mean, 20 seconds and half of that 10 seconds was sloppiness.
Yeah,
just kind of winging punches, just chasing him and walking forward with his hands up like
That's
this.
what it was, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it worked against a guy like that. Is it going to work against Stipe? Absolutely not. If you do that against Stipe, you start winging punches, he's going to shoot, try and take you down, put you against the cage. He's going to wear you out. Honestly, I'm done counting out Stipe. I'm going with Stipe with decision.
Wow.
I think he's going to do the same thing he did last time. I think he's going to make him clinch. He's going to put him, he's going to, just hold out that storm in the first round, just kind of bob and weave. I think he's going to try and save his eye and not get hit too much. I think he's going to try and clinch him, work him against the cage, really wear him out. I know everybody's saying like, oh, he's been working this. I haven't seen anything new from Ngannou. I can't say he's changed or he's going to come in different. He's still winging punches. He's still throwing haymakers. Takedown defense, I don't know. I don't know if he has it or not. He's winning too quick, granted, but I don't think, that's a plus for him, but I don't think he's going to be able to beat Stipe. And Stipe wasn't looking to take him down. He actually watched the first fight. He wasn't looking to take him down. He was looking for him to use his energy. to defend the takedown, to wear him out with the threats of takedowns. Not necessarily takedown. That's a big boy to take down. He's using that more strategically to wear him out. And if you see, he did wear him out. You see, Ngannou did clip him a couple times, and Stipe took those shots. Granted, later on in the rounds as he wore him out. So I think it's going to be the same game plan. I think Stipe decision.
Definitely.
Put me down on that. Lock me down on that one.
I mean,
I'm not changing my mind, Alex.
hey, don't hate on the champion, okay?
This is not going to be an outro. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Woo! Oh my god.
Oh, here.
You guys have a belt for me, so I had to make my own belt, okay?
Okay, that's good.
Richard, has he been walking around the house with that thing on all day? Has
Oh,
he
yeah.
been pulling, what's his name?
Sylvia?
Sylvia. That's it,
Sylvia,
Sylvia.
yeah.
Walking to the grocery store with a belt on.
Alex has, I don't want to say anything. Alex has 5 Tapology accounts.
Oh, okay.
That's actually pretty funny, bro. I like that.
Oh my god! I mean, and not only that, I think the major factor for Ngannou too, he's never been into a 5 round before. He's always been only just.
Only with Stipe.
That's,
With
I
Stipe,
mean,
he went 5 rounds.
that's that. Yeah, that's it. That's the only
That's
one.
it.
But I mean,
Was that Blade, the Jerry Lewis fight? Was that not 5 rounds?
no,
That was 3.
that was
Oh,
3.
I thought that was the main event.
No, that was 3.
Yeah,
But
co-main.
I got you.
I don't know.
That was
It's-
horrible.
I mean, his last couple fights, yeah,
Yeah,
he
it
came
was
on-
so
he came in
bad.
strong.
That was
Yeah,
such
that was Houston
that was so
Alexander
much
Kimbo
hype.
Slice level bad.
Yeah, it's a tough
No, that
one.
was worse.
It was worse? Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'm-
That was more like Dada 5000 Kimbo Slice.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh,
Let me go there. Yeah, I went there. That's right.
5 heart
I went
attacks, kidney blown out.
Somebody died in the cage. I mean, I don't know. A lot of things happened in that
I
fight.
have like 2
And that's only in
attacks.
30 seconds. So, I mean, I don't know.
I'm gonna have to go with Francis. Second round TKO.
Really?
Ooh.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to go with him second round.
I'm disappointed. I'm
he's
a little
gonna catch
disappointed
him.
that the wrestling fans here, the Mares brothers, who are wrestlers, are not going with Stipe.
I'm not a wrestler. He's a wrestler.
Oh, that's right. Richard's
Oh
a
my
wrestler,
God.
right?
Okay.
Now,
Alex hated it.
Did
I
you?
hated wrestling.
No, really? I thought both
I
of you
like-
wrestled. It's only Richard?
I wrestled for like 1 year and I quit because I hated it.
Oh, okay. Retired on top?
Yeah, you can't punch anyone because I did boxing and I loved boxing better than wrestling. 'Cause, I mean, you can't punch anyone.
now, now here's the question now. So, I mean, I think what we already asked before, but I want to get a recap on it again. So,
Okay.
we do confirm that the winner of this fight will fight John Jones for the belt. That's confirmed.
That's
The winner
that's confirmed by Dana White, yeah.
right,
It's, just-
Yeah.
yeah, it's
That's
as
a confirm.
spoken out loud as a non-contract can be.
Yeah.
right. Now, the question is, what would Dana will be happy with? Do you think he'll be happy with? Let's say Stipe wins. I feel that Dana would not probably be happy about that. In my opinion.
I think either way.
I don't think so.
I think-
I don't think so. He wants to see Francis to win that fight.
yeah.
I mean, can you imagine like the ratings and the viewers he's gonna get if he gets Ngannou and John Jones for the heavyweight
Oh my
title? I
gosh.
mean, come on.
Yeah.
That'd be insane. Like he's salivating in the mouth, hoping Ngannou wins this fight. If he goes past the first round, he's gonna be sweating.
Yeah.
He's gonna be
Like,
sweating a lot. More than he
remember-
normally does.
Remember when Ronda beat Alexis Davis, and in the post-fight press conference, Dana already had the Ronda Sarah McMahon poster made.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
He already has the Ngannou Jones poster made, and he will debut at the night Ngannou if he wins. It'll be
Oh,
up
I'm
on the
sure.
wall.
Yeah.
It is
Oh, yeah.
ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Of course.
Oh, definitely. And now it's like it is unfortunate that Derek Lewis got to, him being in number 2 ranking, he's got to sit back and wait to see who wins on that fight, whoever Jones gets. So I'm hoping they give Lewis a shot. I mean, I think he deserves it this time. I think that Derek needs another chance to get at it. So I mean,
Lewis was on the Rogan podcast, and he's saying he won't wait. He's like, I don't want to sit
He's
out.
gonna
I'd
fight
rather,
more, yeah.
I'd rather stay active than sit out.
oh,
So
and
I definitely see him take another fight for sure.
He wanted over him, but
Yeah, he did
got
one
released.
over him, but yeah, that went out the window.
Yeah, that went out the window. I mean, who else is left in the rankings? I mean, you got, shit.
Unless you give Volkov the rematch.
That could be, could be
Yeah.
Volkov or
Oh, that would be
Look
actually
good
pretty
again,
good. I'd be
so-
into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I don't hate that at all.
no. That'll be interesting to see. Yeah, definitely. Give Volkov. Yeah, the
That'd be a
rematch.
good match to make. Aside from, I I don't know who else to really get him out there. Volkov would be a nice. Volkov's been on a winning streak, been looking good.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a bad, rematch.
And I guess the winner of that will get the title shot.
Yeah, winner of that could get the next title shot after that. Be a good fight.
Yeah, definitely. Now who's
Jesus Christ? Cyril Gane is number 4 already. You guys only got like 3 fights in the
yeah.
Holy shit!
He needs more. I think they're moving up a little.
Yeah,
too
he's
quickly.
moving too quick.
I think he needs a little more time.
Yeah.
Let's season him up more, and then let's not put him up number 4 yet. That's a little insane.
Yeah.
I know he beat Rosenstrike, but it was a good game plan that won him that fight.
He has 5 fights and he's undefeated, and they're almost all finishes. That's fine, but he goes from like Tanner Bozer to JDS to Rosenstrike. I mean, the entire heavyweight division is the top 15. I don't think there's anybody outside of out of 15 in the division.
That's the problem with the heavyweight divisions. There's not too many guys, really. Yeah.
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 Definitely.
Especially after all the cuts, and now it's really looking.
Okay, real quick, look at this bullshit. Tai Tuivasa isn't even ranked.
What? I was gonna mention him.
Because he drinks out of somebody else's shoe. That's why.
Yeah. He should beat Derek Lewis. He's probably never going to say yes to this. I don't know how he feels, but I would love Derek Lewis versus Tai Tuivasa for like a fight night main event.
Okay.
He's coming up.
Again, it's the same thing. Does number 2 fight an unranked guy? I mean, I'm sure Derek gets the contract. He'll sign it. But yeah, that's weird.
But you'd have to pay him way more money to take that kind of risk and fight a guy like
most definitely.
Tai. Yeah, that's a big risk. Big risk for
especially
for
since it's like a 50-50 fight and they both have the same exact amount of power to put each other out.
Yeah, but I would see Lewis putting his lights out. I'll be honest. I think Lewis has a little more experience. It's a little cleaner a fighter too, and can actually take him down. He's a little more athletic.
Yeah, the wrestling for sure. There's no
wrestling, but I think the wrestling he'd come and put it in there, take him down, ground and pound.
Yeah. Hey, where's Greg Hardy at?
Greg Hardy.
Why do you care? No,
really, Greg Hardy.
Hey, he survived that Volkov fight.
I mean, yeah, he survived, but still, I mean, it's Greg Hardy, bro.
Yeah, but that was Volkov playing it safe. He just didn't want to risk losing to that guy more than anything. He just didn't want to have that kind of loss on his record.
Oh my God! Yep. Former.
He's just like, I'll win the fight. I'll win it smart. I just won't. He didn't risk anything in that fight. He played it safe.
He didn't.
No.
Yep. So this could be either the retirement for Woodley, or go home, pay-per-view for Woodley, or stay. Maybe.
TMZ life.
TMZ life. So I mean, out of all the cards, we got to at least pick one fight that you're looking forward to. So I'll go with you, Alex. Which fight are you looking forward to the most?
Oh, the main event. It's the best fight in the card.
Best fight in the card, right?
It's worth $70. Right,
Rachel? You feel the same?
Yeah, I mean, I like this card. Like, there's a lot of things are going to happen, a lot of cuts. I mean, like Woodley, if he loses, if Malarkey loses, if Alameda loses, I go with the main event as well.
All right, Coach, you feel the same?
Yeah, I think the main event's the thing to watch. I think that's the best fight card on there. Fight on the card. But Woodley, Luque should be a fun fight to watch. Yeah. I think Almeida, O'Malley would also be a fun fight to watch. But come on, man. It's Miocic and Ngannou. No better fight than that, hands down. Unless you had the Ortega and Volkanovski fight, that'd go different. That'd be different.
Would have been different.
If that fight would have went on, what's you guys' prediction on that? Or Ortega and Volkanovski?
That's a tough question.
Ortega, I think.
I think Ortega wins.
I think Ortega by decision.
Really?
A close one. I think it'd be close, but I think it's
great against
outstriking and
Korean Zombie.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. Everybody's talking about he beat Korean Zombie. He looked great. He looked good against Korean Zombie. Don't get me wrong, but is Korean Zombie really that high caliber fighter?
I'm not basing my Ortega pick on that at all. I'm basing it on just how multifaceted Ortega is, and how Volkanovski has great hands and probably decent takedown defense.
Yeah,
but he's got pretty good.
I think Ortega has fundamentals in boxing that allows him to throw in his flashy shit like flying knees, like when he took out Guida, And if those fall, he's got the best jiu-jitsu in the division. So I think he's got 3 backup plans, and they're all plan A's.
And I still think Volkanovski shouldn't be champ. I still think Holloway won that second one.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think that Volkanovski and Ortega's going 5 rounds. It's a close one as far as where it goes. I don't know. I mean, I'm an Ortega fan. Don't get me wrong, but Volkanovski's a good fighter. It's a tough fight. I don't know. To be honest, I'm not too sure on that one.
Yeah, definitely. Director, so your main event? What do you think? I mean, do you go with the main event, like the fight that you want to see overall?
Is it worth paying the $70 for? I mean, I honestly don't think so. It's nobody's fault about the COVID thing with the Volkanovski, but even then, would that have made that main card worth the price of admission? I don't know. I don't think so. That being said, am I excited for the entire card? Like always. Every card is exciting until it's over and you can reflect. So we'll just see after it's over whether or not it was worth it. And that's the best option. I mean, the opinion I can have about it is hopefully the people that are paying money get some great fights. And that's about it, man.
Yeah, definitely. And then we'll have to see if we're gonna still have a still
baby.
No, we're gonna have a new
baby. As you guys said last time, man, I beat you guys by a lot.
Can somebody do me a favor? Whoever wins, as long as it's not Alex, can you please put out a video also, like a rap disc or something?
Oh yeah.
I think that should be part of the contract here. We do that if whoever wins always has to put out a diss album or a diss track or something.
Diss track, yeah, that'd be cool.
Like a post-fight interview.
Yeah, like out somewhere in a park by the swings. I don't know, somewhere.
Promo.
Little promo.
A nice promo.
Yeah.
Just like Alex did last time.
Oh,
I have
By the
something.
stairs. Yeah.
I'm writing something right now that if hopefully if I do win, I got something.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Well, it's not gonna happen,
It's
Chris.
a big if.
Because you know
It's a
why?
big if.
Because it's gonna be still, baby, still.
Richard, if you win, can you take that belt from his room and just burn it on camera?
You're gonna see me by a dumpster just throwing it.
Yeah.
Make a
Do it all
bubble out of
DW
that.
style, like where you drive by a bridge, you just throw it off the bridge. And
Oh, yeah, right.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for tuning in for this MMA episode 5. We'll be back next week to recap for UFC 260, and we'll be announcing a new Tapology World Champion. Not gonna be
Okay.
still. Okay, it's not gonna be still.
That's what you
And we
guys said
got
the
your
last
picks
time,
locked
and the year
in.
before
right?
that, and the year before that. Come on, man.
Man, and we still got and your picks are
You
locked.
guys still lost. You guys still
Wow.
lost. Last time,
B Rabbit is on fire today.
I
Come on,
know.
man.
Oh, cannot wait. I can't wait until next week. I watch. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm looking
Ivan's
forward
on
to.
fire right now.
Okay,
Me too,
and then
man.
I hate to break another thing. Alex has been living a lie of a life. He's not even a real MMA fan. The only guy he knows is Fedor. I've been doing
The
all
only
his
guy he knows
picks
is
for him.
Fedor.
Yeah,
I've been
the
doing
guy
all
that
his
doesn't know
picks for him.
anything wins.
He goes on Reddit, finds the top picks.
Yeah.
I pay a guy in Russia to put my
I
picks
pay
for
a
me.
guy in Russia. It's a bot. It's not him. It's a Russian bot. It's a Russian bot.
You know what? And definitely pretty soon we will be doing top 5 for UFC for MMA for sure. We gotta be
Ooh.
doing that.
Nice.
Because I know we do have pro
I like
wrestling,
that.
but
Good.
we gotta do that for MMA as well. So we might,
Alex
you know.
like Fedor.
I know,
Fedor, baby.
Best light
Fedor all
heavyweight.
day.
Best light heavyweight in the UFC. Fedor.
Fedor all day,
Right.
baby.
Women's bantamweight fighter.
Oh my
Fedor.
gosh.
Oh,
Fedor,
no.
baby.
No, wait, is that a real autograph or is that one of the
No,
ones you
it's
buy in the
real.
store?
It's real.
It better not cost me
No,
all
no,
the
no.
money.
Did you get it autographed?
No,
Okay, no, it's not a real autograph.
it
Okay.
is real.
Oh my god, no.
It better be real. It's like $200.
That cost me a lot of money. I gave it to him as a gift.
Oh,
Man, you should have wanted the Dollar Tree, bro. You could have found it right there at Dollar Tree, man.
I got a 99 this time, but yeah.
The only thing you get at Dollar Tree is Tito Ortiz autographs.
Oh.
No, he charges for an autograph. Can you believe that?
He
Oh my
does?
God, really?
Yeah, I was at like a fight expo like years ago, and his, you know, he was lined up, and everybody's like lined up, and they're like, oh, and they came around, they're like, oh, dude, it was like $50
Oh,
to do a meet and greet and get an autograph, and I was like, yeah, you're Tito Ortiz, I'm not paying you $50. Everybody else here, like, there's been like all these fighters are John Jones, everybody like Cub Swanson, Cowboy Cerrone, free, just lined up. You know, get free merch and then like take a picture with the guy who autograph whatever you got. This guy wanted to charge $50. I'm like, you're out of your mind, bro. I'm like, I'm not buying your crappy merchandise and I'm not standing in line to get your horrible autograph. I'm like, no, man.
Hey, his punishment line is top notch, right next to Nike. Okay.
Oh yeah, selling out. Well, what is he? He's the mayor of Orange County. What is he?
He's trying to be the
destroying
mayor of
Orange
Huntington.
County.
Something like that,
He's
right?
on city council of Huntington Beach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they gonna
Destroying the
impeach him, by
city.
the way? Yeah.
Destroy the city.
Destroy the city.
Oh,
Orange County's not the same.
No, not
COVID spreading. Things are getting shut down.
See a bunch of people with bleached hair walking around. My
Wearing
first
flaming
rule.
beanies on. It's horrible, bro.
Well,
I
there you
don't like
have it.
Tito because he tried to call out Fedor, man. Fedor would knock him out.
Oh my God, man.
Here we go.
Come on.
Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, thank you.
On that
very
point,
much.
on that note.
On that note, thank you very much for tuning in once again. The TV's one I see here for the director, the one and only, Mr. the camera guy, the director, CK1.
All the above. Yeah.
All the above.
I'm the whole fucking credits.
Yeah, the whole credit, the whole credit show. Chris Kennedy, and of course I have the coach, Mr. Vera, right here in the house. We'll be back next week as well, and the Modest brothers, the Modest of
There you
Pain.
go, baby.
Oh, boy, here we go.
There you go, baby.
Yes, God.
Yes, yes.
You put a
The
sticker over
raining, you put a
You guys,
sticker.
you guys should change the name of the show to the Alex Mars
Yeah.
Show.
Oh, wow.
You man.
You
All
guys should
right,
just change the
yeah.
name.
Where's the mute button? Where's the mute button?
Right? Oh, I'll meet him right now. All right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you guys next week.